Hello and welcome to A Journey of Clarity, a personal exploration of getting in tune with yourself and in tune with others with your host, Dr. Natanael Costea. This is a journey of emotional and spiritual awareness, of discovery what life truly means, and a clear shift from an ego-driven world to a meaning-driven world. I believe we can become more in tune with our thoughts, our emotions, and our spirituality. And as we do that, we will make better decisions, have deeper connections, more fulfillment, and even more joy. This is a bit of clarity.
So I'm taking the children to the park, they jump on their scooters, we take the dog with us, and we are excited to be going to the park. I'm playing with the kids, I'm having a good time, and while I'm there I see a man on his phone talking and talking and talking away, walking up and down the park and just going on in a very, very deep discussion on the phone. His daughter, who he brought to the park to play, was there, and she befriended my daughter, and they started playing together. After a prolonged talk, after about half an hour, eventually he came and sat next to me on the bench in the park, just in front of the playground. And I just said, hello, hello, we just exchanged the hellos. And then I said to him, what's going on? I see you a little bit tense. He said, oh yeah, my job is really difficult. I've got a lot of stress, I'm working hard. Things aren't going as planned, and it's a tough day for me. I said, but it's wonderful to be in the park, isn't it? He said, yeah, it's really great to be in the park here. I said, and your daughter's having a good time, isn't she? And he goes, yeah, she's having a really fabulous time. I said, the weather is fantastic, isn't it? And he said, yeah, the weather is quite nice. The weather is always good here in Perth. We live in Perth in Australia, the most beautiful city in the world, and the weather here is almost perfect every day, just on a side note. So then I said to him, so do you like your job? He said, no, well, I like my job, but it's too stressful, too demanding, too many hours. I said, where did you work before? And he tells me that he worked in Southeast Asia in a very congested city. I said, being in Perth, it's nice. I said, how long do you spend in traffic? He says, 20 minutes. I said, how long were you spending in traffic in Jakarta, where he worked before? He said, a couple of hours each way. I said, it must be much better here. He said, yeah, absolutely. I have a parking in the high rise that I work, and it's quite nice. I said, what does it mean for you to live close to the beach? Because we live very close to the beach. He said, well, it's nice, it's convenient because you can go and enjoy the sunset and spend time with your family. I said, what does it mean for you to have this park next to your apartment? Because they live right next door to the park in an apartment. He said, it's really beautiful, and it's wonderful for my child because she can come here and play all the time. And all of a sudden, this man that was stressed and anxious before was becoming very relaxed and very engaging, and he was all of a sudden becoming full of gratitude and thankfulness of those things that he had, because he was prompted to count the wonderful things that he had in his life. And then all of a sudden he goes to me, what do you do for a living? He just realized that his mind was being transformed and being changed. And I didn't want to say, look, I work in positive psychology and emotional intelligence, because that would have freaked him out. So I'm thinking, what should I say to this guy? I said, look, I do a number of things, but I like philosophy. He said, I'm intrigued by philosophy. So I said, look, the way I look at life, I said, I look from three perspectives: from psychology, from philosophy, and from theology, from these sort of three areas in a holistic way for humanity. And then he started talking about that, and we engaged, and we started talking, and he said, look, if you do coaching, eventually I had to tell him that I do emotional intelligence coaching. He said to me, can you give me a tip? Can you give me a life hack as I am going home? He said, because you've been very inspirational to me in the few minutes that we spent in the park. So I said to him, sure. I said, when you go home tonight, what I'd like you to do is to write a journal of gratitude. Just jot down 3 things that you are thankful for, and try to list as many reasons why you are thankful for that thing. So, just go very deep and see what you are thankful for and why you are thankful for those things. He said, I'll do that. His daughter, as she was following him home, she said, Dad, I'm going to do that just as much. So when I saw that, I thought, fantastic, because she's going to keep him responsible for that. So off they went. About 2-3 weeks later, I used to go in the park almost every day, but I came to the park late. And all of a sudden he comes to the park and he says, Natanael, I got to tell you something. He said, where have you been? He goes, I've been watching every day, waiting for you to come in the park. I said, look, I used to come a bit early because I finished work earlier and the children enjoy going to the park straight from school. He said, I've been watching the park and waiting for you to show up because I want to tell you something. He said, since I do the gratitude journal, I want you to know that my life has been transformed. Even my wife notices how much I've changed. I began to enjoy my work. I began to enjoy family life. I began to go out more. I began to be more content, more thankful. And now all of a sudden, I want things that I didn't want before. My wife has been nagging me to have another baby, and until now I didn't want to have another baby. But all of a sudden, I want to have another baby as well now. So everything has changed, and not more than that, I want you to know that my wife wants to meet you. And I thought, uh-oh, what happened here? So eventually we met the wife as well, my wife and his wife. We met together, we had a wonderful time. But the penny dropped for him when I brought to him the concept of gratitude. This is how powerful this concept of being thankful is. So without being thankful, you can never engage in developing your emotional intelligence. For this man, who later on became one of my friends, just that session in the park, that discussion in the park, that casual discussion in the park, transformed him, revolutionized him, shifted him into a state of gratitude. And by counting his blessings, by listing down the things that he is thankful for, he changed his mind, he changed his attitude towards life. That's why gratitude is so important. So I want you to know that with this videocast and podcast, there is always a link down the bottom where you can access the show notes. And what I'm reading here are the show notes that you can download as well. They're a PDF and you can have access to these as well. So I'll always do a little bit of a show notes on one sheet so you can follow the structure of what I'm talking about, and also for you to have some notes to refer back to if you want to study this again. So our objective in this lesson, based on the example that I've given you as well, is to develop an understanding of how gratitude serves as the basis of emotional intelligence. What do you teach your child the most? You always teach your child to be grateful, to be thankful. Why can't you be grateful for once? Why can't you just say thank you? Why can't you just eat what I'm giving you? Why aren't you happy with the shoes that I bought you, with the clothes that I bought you? We ask and we demand our children to be grateful, thankful, and even content. But we must be the same if we want to have emotional intelligence, if we want to become better human beings. In understanding gratitude, gratitude is the ability to acknowledge goodness in someone's life. To acknowledge the good things that happen in your life. My 5-year-old daughter, when she was 5, she's 6 now, but when she was 5 years old, we went on a broad walk in Fremantle, which is a beautiful fisherman's village town, sort of here next to Perth. And on the broad walk, she fell on the timber slats and she actually injured her knees. And rather than crying, she said to me, "Oh, Dad, I'm so grateful that I didn't fall in the water." So even though she fell on the timber slats and she hurt her knees, she saw the good part in this negative experience, and she acknowledged that she could have fallen in the water, which would have been far worse than falling on the timber. So to understand gratitude even further, it is the ability to notice the positives in a situation and to feel thankful no matter what. So even if you're going through a very difficult situation, a big challenge in your life, even a negative experience, search for the goodness, search for the lessons, search for the positives in that. Let's say if you have a car accident, God forbid, you can always say, next time I will learn how to drive better, or be more preventative, or be more careful when it's dark or when it's raining. So we actually learn, we can use any circumstance or any situation for our own advantage. We can look at a situation and say, there is something that I can learn from this. This hasn't happened to me, but it happened for me, to transform me, to shift me, to get me into a better state. What are the benefits of gratitude? Well, the benefits of gratitude are many, and I've listed 8 of them, and they are in your show notes, so make sure that you grab a hold of these. You can also jot them down. 8 of them, not so easy to remember, but stay with me. I'll explain them to you. The first one is well-being. Number 1 is well-being. Rather than feeling negative, we feel content. When you feel content, you feel better about yourself, you have a better lifestyle. Learn to be content in every situation. You know, when you learn to be content, you will not be disappointed. If your expectations are always this high and you never meet those expectations, you will always have this negative, unaccomplished sort of lifestyle or unaccomplished feeling. It's like, I never get there, I never get there. But if you're content with what you have, you can count those things which you already possess, you will be much happier. Your well-being state will be different than most people. So learn to be content. Number 2, the benefit of gratitude. Another benefit of gratitude is relationships. You have better relationships when you are full of gratitude. Thankful people forgive and are less narcissist. How good are you at forgiving? Can you forgive people? Can you forgive those who have wronged you? Do you hold on to bitterness, resentment? Do you leak out bitterness? Or can you forgive the people that have wronged you? This is very important because you can't have relationships unless you learn how to forgive. You can't love unless you know how to forgive. In fact, the best relationships are those where people forgive each other. Everybody wrongs one another, unfortunately. We make very many people upset. But we've got to learn to ask for forgiveness and also to forgive. We also need to learn to be less narcissist. A narcissist person is a person full of ego, where everything is about them. A person full of gratitude is not narcissist. It's not just about them. They are happy with other people. They are grateful for other people's successes. They are grateful for other people in their lives. They value relationships. They value the contribution of others. That's why this is so important for emotional intelligence, for relationships building. So make sure that you have this check. When you become a person full of gratitude, when your heart is riddled in gratitude, in thankfulness, you will have better relationships. So if you are a social cactus and you don't have very many relationships, it could be because you are very negative and you don't appreciate others and you don't appreciate the beauty in life and you're not content with what you have. Number 3, another benefit of gratitude is optimism. Thankful people have a more positive outlook on life. They're optimists. So when you are thankful, you can find the good in every situation, even in those difficult situations. You can see a way through, you have hope, you are full of clarity, you push through, you know you can overcome anything. Number 4, happiness. The more gratitude they experience, the happier people are. So the more gratitude you experience in your life, the happier you are. You know, you can't say thank you without smiling. You can't say, oh, thank you. You know, you can't say thank you and mean it and not smile. The moment you say thank you, you release something that brings happiness both to you and also to the person that you are mentioning that thankfulness. Especially if you have a heart full of gratitude, you will always experience more happiness. So happiness is a product of being content and also being full of gratitude. Number 5, stronger self-control. Another benefit of gratitude. A content person can better practice self-control. If you're not happy, you're never going to be self-controlled because you're always going to have this negative outlook. You will always want to do something more, something more, something more. You can't control yourself. So it's very important to be content because when you are content, you are settled, you are at peace, you are at ease, you are grounded. In one word, you are grounded. Number 6, better physical and mental strength. Another benefit of gratitude. Appreciation gives healthier minds and healthier bodies. When you are riddled in appreciation, when you can look at situations and still be thankful and still be content and still practice gratitude, your mind is happier, your perspective is happier, your worldview is different. And when your mind is healthy, your body is also healthy. So if you want a happier mind, a healthier mind, a better body, a healthier body, make sure that you get this mental strength and physical strength through gratitude. Number 7, an overall better personal life. So an overall better personal life. When you practice gratitude, you reduce anxiety and stress in your personal life because you have the perspective of being thankful. That eliminates anxiety, that eliminates stress because you're not focusing on those things that are pressing you, but you are focusing on those things that are releasing you and give you an edge. And number 8, an overall better social life. It creates a better social circle of good. You want to be around people who are happier. You want to be around people who are full of gratitude. And when you are thankful, you actually give a tone of happiness around you. You influence people with your sense of gratitude, and they themselves will mirror exactly what you bring to the table. If you bring negativity to the table, they will mirror that. If you bring a positive outlook, they will mirror that. So the question is now to you, what can you be thankful for? What are you thankful for? Can you count the things that you are thankful for? Can you list at least 2 or 3 things that you are thankful for? And why? The reasons why you are thankful. And you should have at least 4 or 5 reasons why you are thankful for each of the things that you are thankful for. So in an application, in the show notes, there is an application there that you can practice. And that is the question, what are you thankful for and why? Think of at least 5 reasons why. And the second application is this. Practice writing a gratitude journal every night, counting your blessings. On your phone or in a little book, every night, just jot down 2 or 3 things that you are grateful for. Keep a journal of gratitude, a journal of blessings, and you will see how your life improves dramatically. You do this for about 6 weeks. Let me tell you, people will notice, you will notice a shift, a massive shift in your life. So this is gratitude for this week. So just remember, gratitude is at the basis of emotional intelligence. If we are going to build anything from today onwards in our EQ development, it starts with a heart riddle in gratitude. I hope this is of benefit to you, and I hope to see you soon in the next episode. Until then, please watch and rate this wonderful podcast. Hopefully we will get 5 stars. And throughout any means that you are enjoying this, please share it with others and make sure that with a bit of clarity, you transform your life, and your life will get a brand new direction every time you hear something new from our podcasts. So until next time, take care.
I'm Dr. Natanael Costea, and I thank you so much for joining me on this journey of clarity through emotional and spiritual awareness. If you feel blessed by this presentation, please subscribe, rate, comment, and share it wherever you're enjoying it. And until next time, this was a bit of clarity.